So we have to talk about another iPhone that I think is probably one of the better deals out there, but is also an iPhone that is a little bit older, but you could honestly use it for many, many years still as of this point. And this specific iPhone is basically the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but you could also throw the iPhone 11 Pro in here. And the craziest thing going on with this specific iPhone right now is that the iPhone 11 Pro Max, in my opinion, is probably one of the better iPhones Apple has ever made. But also, it's probably one of those devices that if you buy it today, it's still going to be here at least for the next couple of years. Maybe 3 if we're lucky, maybe 3 if we're lucky, but at least 2 more years if you kind of think about it. And that is going to be an amazing, beautiful thing going on with this specific device. With the iPhone 11 Pro Max, we're basically getting a beautiful, decent display on it. It's not 120 Hz, it's standard 60 Hz, but it's still a very good display. Fairly high resolution with that notch. Definitely doesn't look that bad, and it definitely looks like a decent panel even in this day and age. A little tiny bit of bezel around it, but I'm not really complaining about it too much, and it still looks like a very decent panel when it comes down to it. You're getting the lightning port, you're getting the frosted glass back, which still holds up very well. This was one of the first iPhones to actually bring that frosted glass back on these devices. So the fact that we have that on this iPhone still is really cool, and I'm really, really happy about that as well. On top of that, with this device, you are also getting things like the triple camera setup on the back. That in and of itself is really cool, and it is a solid camera. If you're trying to go ahead and just buy a iPhone today and have a decent camera on it, this thing is very solid, and it was one of the first iPhones to actually bring 4K at 60 resolution you can film in on the back and on the front of this thing, which in and of itself was another really cool feature. In the performance segment, this is also an iPhone that still is handling performance stuff pretty decent. Again, it's not a perfect performing phone by any means, but it's actually not bad, and personally I've had a pretty decent time with all my iPhone 11s from the performance side. You're getting that Apple A13 Bionic chip with 4GB of RAM, and I think at the end of the day, that's a very good amount of RAM to have, especially when it comes down to that chipset. That chipset was really good in 2019, and it's still kind of good in this day and age. There are also some other devices that had that chipset inside too, so I'm not really complaining about it too much, and I definitely do think when it comes down to the performance side of this iPhone, it's still up there, definitely not perfect, but it's a good performing phone when it comes down to that chipset. So to kind of wrap up this whole entire thing, what I'll tell you is I definitely do think the iPhone 11 Pro Max is probably one of the better iPhones you can buy for that price tag. It's an older iPhone, it's a bigger iPhone, so you may not be the most comfortable using it, but it is a very solid device, and I've had a great time using this phone when, I've used the iPhone 11 Pro. This is just a bigger version of it. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.